everybody. Welcome back to Buddy Spirits and Cigars, and we are back for another episode. We have Mr. Bruce Fletcher with us again, and happy to have him here. His wonderful insight and knowledge he bestows upon us.
More like
anyway, so
modicum of bullshit, but whatever.
Kevy brought the spirit for us today. We'll let him talk a little bit about that for us.
Well, I can tell you that it's early times, bottled in bond, so it's 100 proof, minimum 4 years of age. According to my research, it is the pre-Sazerac, which I think is Brown-Forman. Hard to see. I've never seen it. I've seen it one place in the wild here, so we got it. The bourbon junkies love it, so shout out to them, or at least
shouts out.
Yeah, Sean, I think, is the one that really loves it. But either way, that's really all I know about it. So
Okay.
hard to get. It's cheap. It's $25, $30 for a liter.
And who'd you say is the distiller?
Well, now the new stuff is Sazerac,
Right.
but I think
this one, though?
before this was Brown-Forman.
Okay.
So the same people that make Old Forester lines. So
Well, let's get into it.
Should be legit.
I'm kind of excited about this one. I haven't had this.
me too. Never had it. Seen the just the regular old early times, which is bottom shelf stuff.
Yeah,
Never
I've
tried
seen
it.
I've seen it, on in bourbon groups and things of that nature. But so we already know this is going to get docked for availability
Yeah.
from the left side of the room. So
Hey man, I'm
Simon
ready to hear you
says
take
availability
Simon
is
says.
key.
Yeah. It's got a pretty good nose.
that. I like it.
Yeah.
It's got a good deep color.
It does.
yeah, it is.
Look at that
Unlike
bottle.
the last shooter sip that looked like, well,
Colored
I'm
water.
going to be genteel, but yeah, it was very watery.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a bad nose at all.
No. I am getting a little bit of that ethanol.
It's cleared my
Yeah.
nostrils.
Yeah.
I'll just have
it
literally
smells hot.
It does
cleared
smell
my
like
nostrils.
It doesn't really
It's
smell that
almost
hot
like
to me.
those cheap colognes, the knockoff
Yeah.
of the name brands.
Yeah.
You can smell a lot of the alcohol.
I mean, like the Dracar you get at the Dollar General.
Yes, that
Okay.
one. Or our version of Polo by
Yeah,
Ralph Lauren.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do it.
Try it.
Nah, boy, I am waiting. I am watching. I saw that face that way.
Little heat, but not in a bad way. Just more so,
You say what?
said a little bit of a heat,
Little
but-
heat.
but it's more so on the tongue and on the palate than it is.
It's definitely the heat's on the tongue, not the back of the throat.
Yeah.
Yep.
This
Right
isn't
in.
bad.
I'm not
For
mad
a-
at it at all.
For 100 proof, it doesn't taste like 100 proof.
No. Kind of got a creamy mouthfeel to me.
It's kind
Yeah.
of smooth,
Yeah.
a little silky.
Sticks around for a little bit. Doesn't disappear.
Yeah.
That's true.
Very
Yeah,
good.
it does have a nice little
And it's the
bit of
aftertaste.
longevity to it.
Aftertaste is good too. It doesn't have a bad
Yeah.
Is that-
aftertaste.
Yeah, that's a pretty good pour.
Yeah,
Not bad at
especially
all.
for the price, for a liter.
Well,
So what's the
and
price point on the liter?
It's 25 to 30. I mean, depending on, that's, prior to taxation. So, at
Yeah.
least,
Honestly,
When we go off of MSRP,
Yeah.
that doesn't include tax.
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
different everywhere you go.
well, exactly. So,
So Uncle Sam's going to get his no matter what.
yeah.
and honestly,
That son of
for
a bitch.
something with early times on the label that you would immediately think of
As trash.
rock gut,
Yeah.
it's actually surprisingly good.
Yeah, you would think.
That whiskey
I mean, you would think it'd be not very old at all. Be
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it's bottled in barn, so
So,
That
I don't think it's
generally-
bad.
no, it's good. I
not
would say
bad.
that it's good.
It's definitely better than a .75.
Well, yeah.
Dude, that was
I mean,
wild.
this is a 2 right out of the gate.
memorable as fuck.
You have to quit saying fuck.
You're beeping
Golly,
these?
I'll tell you what.
No.
You're cutting them.
Nah, we're just gonna leave them in there, man. I mean,
Nah, just leave it, man.
yeah, just leave it, man. I wonder what Labrador tastes like.
All right, well,
All right,
you want to be the first?
Start it.
You were the last time.
You're right.
Started
I
that
will.
way
I
it
mean,
can
you
get
just
better as we go.
cranked on.
yeah. So, I gave Stag Junior a 3.75
You did, in fact.
because of availability.
You did, in fact.
So that automatically knocks off 1.25, no matter what.
No, it doesn't. It knocks off automatically a point.
A point. Damn you. Go
Because
on
we've
with
all
your
had
rating.
that conversation.
I think a half point's fair for availability.
I agree.
Well,
Because you can get
Especially
this
if
stuff.
it's your
You just
new
gotta.
favorite bourbon, your newfound favorite. This is a top bourbon for me.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: if you stick in Fort Smith and go to like 2 stores, you're not going to find Jack. You got to go
But Jack's
hunting.
there.
You got to go hunting. You
You'll
got to
find a lot of
go.
Jack.
But you
Whether
got
it be
to.
Jack Daniels or Yukon Jack.
Well, you got to go to Oklahoma City. You got to go to Jane,
What's
Missouri.
Yukon
You
Jack?
got to go to Muskogee. You got to Little Rock to actually find good stuff.
You
We don't
actually
get
have to
that
go on a
here.
hunting trip to,
You do.
to find that.
So-
Without a doubt. Availability cuts it down, but right then, it was available to him. And he's had an opportunity to have it a second time. So, as far as he's concerned, availability is not that big of a deal.
no, as far as I'm concerned, availability is a huge deal. And I'll say this: this has been less available than Stag Junior. So automatically, all right, fellas, it's quite simple for me. It's a 3. It's good, but it's not Stag Junior good. So there goes a point. Would I give it a 4?
Oh.
No, I wouldn't. All right, so it's. I'm going to take that back. It's a.
Oh, shit.
It better not make
Oh,
it 375.
No.
It better
Oh,
not make it.
shit.
No. It's going to go lower. It's
I'm on the edge of my seat.
2.25.
2 1/4.
Yeah.
All right.
Simon
That
says
feels
2
familiar.
1/4.
Yeah.
Right there.
I mean, well, this
Oh,
is.
come on.
Hey, we don't want the labor pains. We just want the baby. Come on.
Yeah, well,
My
all right.
gosh.
I'm sticking with this.
So you're
2.25?
sticking with 2 1/4.
Mark
Nope. 2.75.
it. Mark it, Mr. Producer. No, sorry. Mr. Executive, Mr. Producer.
Yeah. 2.75.
All right. Fair enough.
Bruce, what do you think?
Let's
No,
go
take
this
that back.
way.
It's a 3.
Get 'em
Because
again.
I didn't take
Get 'em
into account
again.
price. So it's a 3.
Right.
Yeah.
What knocks points off? I'm trying my best to understand your point scale. So availability.
Availability is a huge one.
So that's 1.25 points automatically.
No, it's not 1.25. We've all had this conversation that
be like a
it can
point.
never be a 5. And since we only go on quarters of points,
I'll
it can only
know
be
about
a 4.75. So I knocked a point off of that.
Yeah.
5 is an option on a 0 to 5 scale.
Yes, but you and I both know that it can never be. We can never find anything. We both agreed that nothing will ever be a 5 because that means that it couldn't be improved on.
Dealing in absolutism
We
is
sure
a
as hell would
dangerous
never
game,
agree on that anyway.
I would say.
So
I'm just saying it is an option, so you have to look at it like it's an option.
Okay, well-
because it is an option.
if it were available, it would have been a 4.75. It's not available, so it's a 3.75. Yes, Stag Junior.
Oh,
That's exactly what.
okay. You're proving my point more and more.
No, I'm
You're
proving my
looking
point.
at 5 as it is not an option, and it is an option.
You're right, it's an option, but it's one that I don't think I'll ever find. So, that being said,
Well, have you found anything better than Stag Junior
actually, yeah,
that you've had?
yes.
What is it?
What is it?
Man, I had
very
a
intrigued.
barrel pick Crown Royal, and I do not like Crown Royal.
Now, doesn't that feel weird?
It
Better than
does.
Stag
That's
Junior.
crazy.
Dude, it was creamy. It was just, man.
I'm sorry, but I don't believe that.
Well, I believe all you want. I mean, it was just
When was this?
phenomenal. I got it from, was it Happy Hour on 71 South? Dude, they had a barrel pick of Crown, and it was, they knocked it out of the park with that one.
Store picks can
Right
be
on.
very good.
Yeah.
I agree
Yeah.
with that.
So-
but
Was it
I didn't have
new?
any, so I can't speak
Yeah.
from experience. But yeah,
That's been my favorite.
so that's
one.
a 5 for you.
1 to 5. It'd be like a 4.95.
No, because
think
it's
a
not
5
available either.
No,
you got to
a
knock
5
a
would be
point
like
and a
if
quarter off for
you dreamt
availability.
of a bourbon
Yeah, store
and
pick's a
someone made
one-time
that
deal.
bourbon.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So-
just in flavor alone. I mean, if we're going to go straight off of flavor, then the flavor was outstanding. It could have been a little higher proof. It was like, well, I think 103, but
That wasn't
you know,
enough.
I mean, it did the job. I mean, it was great. It it didn't give me the, I don't know.
So when you tried this, did you think to yourself, I need to go back and get another bottle?
Yes, and I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell
Didn't
yeah.
sit on
Sign.
any of it.
No. I finished the last one off for my birthday. Finished the last of it off on my birthday.
This
You've just
year?
been sitting on this.
This year?
Yeah.
This crazy man over here.
I don't know.
Found what he liked, went with it.
Yeah.
I like that.
And I ain't sharing with none of you fools.
Yeah.
Ain't happening.
I
I
turned
wouldn't.
Justin Yager onto it.
Then there's no more
Shouts
left.
out Yager.
No, I went back and
Get ready to cut.
I think the boys have a
Fuck you,
Schmedium
Yager.
T-shirt for you if you want one.
I'm sorry.
So anyway, we're gonna go with the 3 because it's just as good, if not better, than the Russell's Reserve that we had, the store pick.
Yeah.
Probably
and-
Barrel Select or something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's a 3. This is a 3 for me. Solid 3, solid pour, and price point boosted up. So,
All right, now that we got his 74th rating,
You go.
it's not a 3 for me. It's good. It's not great. I'm going to say 275 for me.
Ah, that's a 3.
3.
It's a 3.
Well, I'm going to go with you. I believe, for my money, the price is good for a liter.
Mm-hmm.
The taste is not bad. It's drinkable, but
It's very
it's
drinkable.
not blowing my skirt up good. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not like, oh shit, I got to go get me a bottle of that. If I had $30 burn a hole in my pocket, I didn't have anything else at the store I wanted, and I saw it, I might buy it. But so
I'll tell you what I'd rather have over this, and it's going to make Mr. Executive, Mr. Producer very happy. Knob Creek Nunya.
Oh, I'd take
Knob
Knob Creek
Creek,
hands
dude,
down
is
every
the
time.
shit.
Really?
Same,
That shit is the shit.
it's pretty much
Yeah,
the same
I'm
price
buying
point,
this.
but you're getting a little bit less liquor, obviously.
Because of
But
the
I'd rather have that over this.
Oh, I'd take that all day long.
because like the price to product ratio.
A couple of things. I'm buying this. If I see this again, I'm buying it
Okay.
until I have like 4 or 5 of them. Because
You like it?
yeah, I mean, I just, once again, availability. If I were to walk in and a store had 10 Stag Juniors on the shelf, if my credit card had the available funds, my wife would be pissed. But if the
Yes,
store
she
would
would.
let me, I'd come out with them.
I can't believe you're
and
that
then I'd-
wild. You would spend that much money and that wild over something that only gets a 3.75. I would expect something to be higher.
I mean, if
for you
I'm going
to
to
buy
buy
that
4 or
many.
5, that's $125. That's not. That's
What did
not
you
a,
rate this?
Huh?
What'd you rate this?
a 3.
Stag is only 0.75 points more than this.
Those are heavy .75s though.
Yeah.
That shit
Yeah,
is
a
fucking.
lot of freaking weight.
That shit is.
You're
heavy,
right.
Sign.
Without a doubt.
Heavy sign.
So, that's our score on early times. The
Fitty.
this is the old version, not the new Sazerac.
What?
Fitty.
Fitty.
Without a doubt.
2 3s, 2275.
Tell us
So-
about this smoke we've got. I like the hell out of it.
Yeah,
Well,
I do too.
this is by Drew Estates. It's the Herrera Esteli Brazilian Maduro. Master blender Willie Herrera's one of his better blends. I mean, he makes all of his blends are good, but this one, it's a Brazilian Maduro wrapper with some Nicaraguan fillers. And for me, I'm a big fan of Nicaraguan tobacco in general. There's good spice to it. There's good strength to it. A lot of volcanic soil there, different places.
Yeah.
But anyway,
And isn't that crazy how the minerals that are there from the volcanoes and stuff really changes the profile of the tobacco?
it does.
I mean,
Now
it's
this
insane.
this is more northern Nicaraguan tobacco.
Yeah.
So that's more Jalapa, Condega time areas. But Just Nicaraguan tobacco in general to me is a spicier tobacco than, say, Honduran or Dominican tobacco.
Yeah.
The Brazilian wrapper, the Brazilian Matafina wrapper is fantastic wrapper, and it has really good flavor. Davidoff Escurios have those as well. You'd kind of like that. I feel like if you haven't tried that, but
You ain't got that deep pockets, I'll just let you know. The Davidoff Escuro.
I'm here to tell you, you probably fucking.
but
You probably right. He didn't even hear that one.
They're pricey.
yeah, they're not bad.
They're pricey.
But anyway, that's what this is.
So what's the price point on this cigar?
That's a $12 cigar.
A $12 stick?
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude,
And
for
that's the
12
thing,
bucks,
you know,
ladies and gentlemen,
People,
this right here.
we were asking me in a previous episode about, people wanting to, maybe concerned about price when
Yeah.
they come in here and stuff like that. And I constantly get questions in the human door, hey, what's the most expensive cigar you have? Why? Why does that, that makes, that should make no determination. I'm going to ask you what you like if you smoke and try to ask some questions to try to point you in a direction. You don't have to spend $40 on a Padron A, for instance, or $40 on a Davidoff Year of the Ox or whatever it is. $12 cigar all day long.
Yeah, I'm with you 100% because for whatever reason, there's the assumption and impression that because something's more expensive, it's better. That's not the case when it comes to any kind of spirit, any kind of cigars. We're at 906 again, and they've got bottles up there that are thousands of dollars for the bottle. Now that's not in my price range, so I haven't had any of it, but I would almost put money on it that I can find some bottles that are a lot cheaper that taste just as good or better, and you're not out $4,000 for a bottle.
Let's talk about that. You mentioned earlier, you pointed out a bottle when you were looking back there, Old Overholt. It's an old rye. Nothing, you're going to pass it up 9 times out of 10. You're going to look at it. Oh, that's down on the bottom. $20, $30, whatever it is.
I think it's in the teens. It's like 17.
But guys, if you want a smoked old fashioned, Old Overholt will make one of the best smoked old fashions you've ever had. Strictly off of the flavor of the spirit itself. When you put the smoke to it, the flamed orange, that spirit, that rye is just really good. And it's not an expensive pour. And you go, well, I could certainly find you a super high-end bourbon and we could make it old-fashioned that would be fantastic. But you don't have to. You simply don't have to. You don't have to come in here and think I've got to leverage my vehicle to pay for my night out. You just don't have to do it. $12 cigar. I think that Old Overholt smoked old fashioned's like $11. Come on, guys. And that is a fantastic. I have those a lot, and I could do anything up there. I choose those because they're good.
Yeah,
it has nothing to do with the price. I don't care about the price. I want something that's good.
Dude, we just had 10 high. How much did that bottle cost?
$7, wasn't it?
Yeah,
We blinded that
$6.99.
sumbitch, and everyone sipped it.
Yeah.
Price don't matter.
It doesn't, and that availability, like you like to speak on, really makes a big difference in price points. There are more and more stores out there that are starting to charge secondary market prices, or even more than, because they get a product.
People will freaking pay for it.
Dude,
that's just the problem.
And I'll tell you, this is not going to be popular, but I'm going to say it anyway. If you are paying secondary market prices, you are part of the problem.
Absolutely.
And that, like it or not, that's how it is. Because if you're going to pay for that, they're going to charge it because they're going to make that money. Yeah. They're in business to make money.
Yeah.
But if they're going to charge 2 or 3 times the price of the MSRP, and you're going to pay that, you're part of the problem. You're part of the reason why that stuff is staying as high as it is.
How many of you guys have had Pappy?
Never
I've had the 10-year Van Winkle.
I've had the 10-year and the 12-year. Man, I've got a ton of stuff back there that's not even remotely that hard to find or that expensive. And dude, Pappy 10 years, a $60 retail bottle.
You and I both had it at the same time.
Yeah, good luck finding it at retail.
Yeah.
Because every person around here, if they get a bottle, or not everyone, but almost every store is going to put $100 a year on that bottle.
Yeah.
And guys, I might, on a good day, if I was feeling saucy, give somebody a Hondo for it just to have it for my collection, because it's kind of one of those things that if you have a collection, well, do you have any Pappy?
Yeah.
No. Your collection sucks. And that's not true.
No.
But guys, it is not worth $1,000. It's not really worth $100.
I agree with you.
That is hype, and more hype. And the 23 year, I've seen that going for over $3,000. Somebody has lost their damn mind.
Yeah. Not doing it.
I'm sure that's a good pour. It's a 23-year-old bourbon. It's probably a good pour.
But
Is it a $3,000? Dude, I bought a car for $3,000. Would you rather have a bottle of liquor or a car? I mean, that's insane. So that secondary market, if everybody keeps FOMO and I don't want to miss out on that, I'm going to pay stupid money. If you'd all say, no, you guys can kick rocks and keep that. If everybody did that, that shit would stop.
There's a particular store in town that likes to charge secondary prices. I went in there one day, just browsing, saw what they had. I was like, oh, there's a bottle of Elijah Craig Toasted. They had a bottle of Blanton's, several hard to find things, and they were charging secondary. I'm like, nah, I'm out. And
Just walk away, man.
I did.
Just walk away, man.
I'm not going to pay that. I mean, I'll pay more than MSRP, but I'm not going to pay. I don't know how, man. I don't know if I can cap it at a certain percentage. I'm definitely not paying double.
No.
You'll pay $20-$30 over MSRP if it's something you really want.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
to me, that's kind of a cap for me.
Yeah,
I'm not going double the price or any of that kind of stuff. I'm not playing that game.
No, me neither. I'm not going to.
Most of the time when you get that stuff, there's a good chance it ain't going to be worth it. Because all the hype has built it up, and you're expecting this thing to be freaking amazing, and you try it, and you're like, oh, man,
it's not, a $300 bottle.
Because take our show, for instance. We have a few bottles that are over $100 bottles, and they're just okay. Our favorite bourbon is a $65 bottle, and that's for most bourbons. That's a pretty average price, around $60.
You can get a great bottle of whiskey for $60.
Yeah. I mean that's pretty. That's a pretty standard price point for an almost an exceptional bottle of bourbon.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get really good stuff for $60.
You can get a great bottle.
And I'm going to make a little counterpoint to that, not bourbon related, but cigar related. So one of the things that, as a cigar shop person that you work there or a lounge or whatever, you always have people going, hey, you guys have any Cubans?
Yeah.
And the thing about that is number one, that's mostly hype as well. I've had tons of Cubans. I've got a couple at home, and quite honestly, I could take you in that humidor and find 10 sticks that would beat any of the best Cubans I've had. And on top of that, 99% of the people that ask that question, if I took the band off and said I had to take the band off to smuggle it out, here it's $25, they're like, okay, it could be a $5 cigar, and they're going to go, man, that thing's great. It's just ignorance.
Yeah.
People don't know, and I don't beat people up for it, but just because it's hard to get or it's forbidden fruit or whatever, and they're generally anymore not all that much better than Honduran cigars or Nicaraguan cigars or whatever.
They're not that strong either. They're not.
They're not.
They're not a bold cigar, but it's the history. This is the one time where history actually is still being paid attention to. Cohiba is the #1 counterfeit cigar out there on the market.
Yep.
And the reason why people were after Cohiba so much is because a long time ago, the only way you could get a Cuban Cohiba, a legit Cohiba, was if Castro gave it to you himself. You had to be close friends with him because those were his thing. Yeah. And so you couldn't get them. They weren't available. They were highly sought after, and everybody wanted them. The hype just built over time, and then people started counterfeiting them, and then all this other stuff. Well, guess what? Arturo Fuente took Cuban seeds, planted them somewhere else, made Opus X. Amazing cigar.
Well, I mean, the thing about it is Cuba's soil content, the nitrates and all that made excellent tobacco. Some of the premium tobacco growing
yeah.
dirt on the planet. I mean, that was the thing.
Yep.
The problem is when all those guys bailed, back in the 60s, they went to Honduras, Nicaragua with Cuban seed.
Yep.
And that's why you'll see that on cigars. This is a Cuban seed, whatever.
But they weren't successful.
But the problem
Most of them
is
weren't successful.
now quality control, and I've been to Rockies, I've been to Drew Estates, I've been to Hoya, Nicaragua. I've seen in person the steps that those companies go through for quality control. In Cuba, it's a state-run business. It's not the same. Their level of QC is way lower than
Kinda
these
like the
other
DMV.
companies.
Yeah, state run. Yeah, they could give two shits.
Again, like Perdomo, I'm going to use that as an example. I damaged out one Perdomo cigar last year. One. 99.9% of the time, those things smoke perfect. They're rolled right. Their QC is high. Rockies same way. Drew Estate same way. So, along with the secondary bourbon market, that's that whole Cuban thing. Everybody wants a Cuban, and it's just you don't have to have stuff like that. There's plenty of great cigars that are easily available. Perdomo, Rocky, Fuente, Drew Estate,
And
Davidoff,
even
Camacho,
their lower-end
whatever.
stuff is good. Now they have some high-end stuff. They got cigars that are triple digits,
Oh, sure.
and they're good.
Yeah.
Believe me, I've had some. But I can go in the humidor. Let's take Fuente for instance, and I can go get a Curly Head Deluxe Maduro
hell
and
yeah.
be just as happy. Sub $7 stick.
Yeah, it's like $4.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a damn good stick. That's what made me realize that I like cigars.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
that man right there.
and it's and Perdomo, go in there and you can get stuff under $8-10 all day. It's good.
Lot 23, man.
Rocky Patel, same way. I mean, it doesn't. The price point doesn't matter if that's the only thing you're after. It doesn't matter. Now, if you venture off into cigars or bourbons or anything else, and you try some of the other stuff that's cheaper, and you decide you want to venture out, and you're trying some stuff that's more expensive, and you like it, cool, do your thing. But don't just go after something just because it's expensive, and you automatically think that's going to be the best thing you had in your life. You're going to be sorely disappointed more times than you're going to be impressed.
And ultimately, what do we smoke cigars and drink bourbon to do?
Socialize.
To relax.
Yeah.
To relax,
and
have a good
enjoy
time with your
company.
buddies.
Exactly right.
It's
That's
hey,
right,
I didn't
champ.
kill anybody at work this week. I had a good week.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good. I want to relax and enjoy
Everybody
myself.
made it. I made it. We're all good.
Yeah.
What a good week at work that is, huh?
Yeah.
So,
Damn. Reason for
Didn't wreck an
celebration.
ambulance, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Might be a controversial episode, but I'll tell you what, I feel like we made some good points, and hopefully you learned some things. And we're going to wrap up this episode. It's getting kind of long. Thank you for joining us again, and leave us some comments, guys. We'll gladly discuss some topics that maybe you have. Maybe you want to know some stuff so that we're not covering or answering. So
Let's talk it out, won't we?
let us know, and we'll see what we can do to
We'll have
accommodate
coffee.
you.
We'll talk.
We'll catch you on the next episode.
come visit 906.
Yes, 906. Come
Yes. It's
enjoy
beautiful.
this place. Look at this joint.
Beautiful.
Do it. Just do it.
Have a great one.
Yeah,
We'll
bye-bye.
talk to you later.